Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Marvel Legends series, X-Men Marvel's Apocalypse. And yes, this is Apocalypse from Age of Apocalypse, one of my favorite storylines that Marvel's done. And that's also because I'm a huge fan of Apocalypse. I love the character. On both sides of the box, we got an image of Apocalypse clenching his fist and they're glowing just with power. It looks pretty awesome. His fists are glowing with the red. His aura is like a bluish energy. It's a cool mixture of the colors, and it's pretty solid artwork. On the back of the box, we got the figure looking all frumpy, holding a skull. We also have some read-up information, so feel free to pause it and read what is on the back of the box. The biggest accessory that Apocalypse comes with is his cape. And it's sculpted pretty nice. It's got some pegs at the top that go into his shoulders. It is a little bit more pliable than your average cape, but it is still a hunk of plastic, and I'll probably try to get some soft goods to replace this, even though this is a little bit more pliable. And what's crazy is this came in a separate tray, and I'm going to bring it up close so you could take a look here. You could still see there's like a line that's going straight across. The light will hit it, as if plastic cut it or something, because normally they feed these capes through like a piece of plastic in the tray and it's still on the character and all that stuff, and you have to like slide it through. This is a separate piece, so I don't understand why there's the lines there. Maybe that's how they mold it, I guess. As for alternate hands, this figure comes with a alternate fist, because he comes with one fist equipped and an expression hand in the other. We just get this. We don't even get another expression hand to fit in the other hand. We just get a fist. Like, they could have tossed in a couple more hands in there instead of just one. Apocalypse comes with a straight, serious-looking face, and the head sculpt's awesome. The way they use the paint and the sculpt, it looks great. The use of the plastic they chose is awesome. I like that whole metallic sheen to it, pearlescent. I don't even know what you want to call it, but it's awesome, and it's just a serious looking Apocalypse face. Now, the main accessory that Apocalypse comes with is a skull, and it looks like a human skull. It's got a nice wash over it. It's lacking of the wash in the front of the teeth because it doesn't really capture the teeth sculpt, but when you turn it to the sides, you can see the molars and everything look really good because of that wash. I just wish they would have got it on the front like that. And the skull's sculpted pretty nicely. It's got some cracks in it, and it really has like a heavy indent right there with some cracks. Like, yeah, that person got punched really hard in the head to crack the skull. But it looks awesome. I just wish that they would have gave us a hole in there so we could pop it onto figures and stuff. Like, you're giving us this skull head, or, well, it's a skull. Why not have a hole in there so we can pop it on other figures and stuff like that? That would be pretty awesome. But it is a neat accessory. Now, a closer look at the head sculpt that comes on Apocalypse. It's just that menacing, smiling, chuckling, I've defeated you all type of head sculpt, and it looks great. The sculpt works phenomenal. And what's great about it, too, is it's like, as I'm looking at it, this is exactly what I would think a happy Apocalypse would look like. It's great. I love it. They nailed it. I think they did a great job with the head sculpt. We got the red collar that's around him, and we got these giant pauldrons in like a metallic, pearlescent, creamy blue. That's the only thing I can really classify it as. The upper chest is painted in the same color as sort of like the pauldrons. Then we get into his body, which shows up as a different color on camera, which is pretty crazy. And what's up with this? What's up with his abs? Those abs look a little weird. Very weird. Very deep. But the sculpt work's definitely there. We got veins in the biceps. And this plastic they're using for the body and the arms and everything is definitely that slick, like slippery. I was about to say slippery and slick at the same time. It's that type of plastic. So it's slippery to the touch, and I guess I would classify it as more of the weaker plastics, more of like a gummy plastic. We get these giant gauntlets with the yellow lights on them. I guess that's really what it is. He has the fist equipped on this one. And then we got the other hand. Same thing with the crazy pauldrons, a little bit warped because of the packaging. And then we get the expressive hand to hold the skull. Now, I wish we would have got another one of these hands for the other hand. And also, why didn't they pay more homage to the like the original Toy Biz? Like, why can't we get like a buzzsaw arm or something cool? I just feel like they could have gave us more with this figure, especially at the price point. The Toy Biz one came with like a saw blade arm, even came with like a little mini like Shadow King figure with them. We do get some paint apps throughout the figure. You can see it. Didn't mean to twist his waist, but you can see all the little paints. It got a little bit of spots missing on the red up there. He's got paint also on the side, another spot right there. All again, just it's really all one plastic color. A little bit of paint that stops right here, and then this is all just the plastic, which you'll be covering with the cape anyway. Now, when it gets sloppy with the paints, it's with these boots. The boots are sculpted awesome, but the silver, they did a horrible job painting on mine. It's just got spots and speckles and off sprays, all that stuff on the boots. But the boots are pretty cool. Like overall, like in hand, this figure looks phenomenal. And it even feels pretty good. Even with that weird plastic they chose. Diving into articulation, his collar piece can move a little bit. When it comes in the package, has like rubber bands that's strapping this thing down, because I guess these things might pop off, but we'll find out during articulation. And then his head can look down quite a bit, so it'll cover his little face, or it looks like he's chewing on his collar. And then his head can look up quite a bit as well, but it lifts up on the collar there. So you get a lot of motion on it. It's just a ball and disc, and then you can get him to look left and right a little bit. Again, the collar is going to be restraining a little bit. Or restrictive, whatever you want to classify that as. And then you got these pauldrons. Pauldrons can move, so therefore the arms can get up there that far. So we get some good arm movement, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow that can only bend that far because the gauntlets want to get caught in it. That's sort of a bummer. Wrist can rotate and bend. Now, when it comes to, don't break this, come on. There we go. When it comes to this side, his wrist can rotate, but it can't really bend because of the gauntlets. Gauntlets definitely get in the way, which that's a bummer. Let's get these arms out of here. Ab crunch. Works very, very well. Goes forward nice, no gapping in the back. And then going back, very nice as well. And very minimal gapping. That's pretty awesome to be a big figure and be able to get them all moving around. Then we get into this part. I hate that part. I hate the waist so much because, watch this right now. Boom! We gave him bookshelf hips. Hasbro. Stop this shit. This is stupid. Put a ball in there, hollow this out, put this all in there to where you get a, you can rotate it and do a lot more articulation. This just looks stupid. It's not a transformer. It's not a transformer. Then we get into his legs. His legs can kick quite a bit forward. Actually, not bad at all, to be honest. And kicking back, he's not going to go back because he's going to hit his butt cheek. And he does have thigh cuts. Double jointed knees. Boot cut. Ankle bend. And a pivot. So this guy has a lot of articulation. And actually, let me check his splits. You can do the splits. But then his legs sort of droop down a little bit. Loose legs there. You can get him in this iconic Hamlet pose, like he's holding the skull. You got some Shakespeare shit going on right here. And honestly, it's cool. Like, it's a cool looking figure. It just has a lot of weird parts. Like, why didn't they just glue this collar part down? This actually popped up. It has two pegs that go in. This came off. And then when you pop on the cape, it hooks on. It looks all right. I mean, it's not the worst cape, but you can already see that it's starting to pop up on one side. I mean, it's it's obnoxious a little bit. Like, you got to really get the peg to line up and try not to move him too much. And then the cape is long to where you try to like lean him back to get him into like a chuckling, like he's laughing out loud, and the cape prevents him from sort of doing that a little bit. You got to like angle it out, and then you got to worry about it popping up out of the shoulder like it just did. Now, changing out the other hand, his gauntlet slides off, so you can actually take the gauntlets off of this figure while you're, if you don't want the gauntlets on him. With Apocalypse, you can get him into that J. Hernandez walk, and the cape does affect it again. So I want to be able to like lean him back, right? So I have him arched over to get this walk, and I'm going to rotate him around. Hopefully it doesn't change. You can see how the leg is actually hitting the cape, and in order for me to make that work, I had to arch his body a little bit at the abs. But if I wanted to like pop him back, it's like kicking the leg forward because of the cape, and then the cape also pops out of the shoulder up at the top there, which is a bummer. Once you remove the cape, you can get him into that walk pose. You don't have to have him slunched over, you know, or anything like that. You could get him to do the walk, which again looks great. This big, bulky, I'm gonna beat your ass type of figure is just walking towards you. Apocalypse's balance is on point. I have him balancing on one foot, doing that juggernaut charge, and I definitely have his arms both going. I have his arm and leg going back in the same direction, which is not the right way to do it, but still, he was doing the, you know, a running charge, and it works. A big dude able to balance on his feet, and that's great to have ankle rockers that can support the weight. You know, that's it's great. I'm used to getting some bigger figures that can't really hold the balance or their ankles give out. If you're an Age of Apocalypse fan, or you just like the villain Apocalypse, this figure is for you. It's a solid figure. Sure, it could be better. We could get some extra hands, a saw blade arm. You know, I could list off a bunch of things that would be awesome with this figure, but think about all the figures you buy. You could probably do that with all of them. So for what I got for my $1, I think the figure is solid. It's a really, really solid figure. And I got to give a shout out to my boy Nate Simmons of Nate's Toys and Collectibles. I pre-ordered this guy through him and was guaranteeing me getting it in hand. Didn't have to worry about running the stores, worrying about missing out on it. I knew I had it locked in with pre-orders when I ordered it through him, and I couldn't be happier. This figure is awesome. And that sums up my unboxing and review of Marvel Legends series Age of Apocalypse. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for me, as it'll mean the world to me. And also hit that silver bell notification if you want to stay in the know with when a new video pops up. And also check out Nate's Toys and Collectibles. The link is down below, so go ahead and check it out. And make sure you get some pre-orders on some of the figures that you guys are wanting as well, because again, it guarantees them getting into your hands without you doing some severe hunting. But if you guys are out there hunting, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.